She walked into the boutique like any other customer, head held high, eyes filled with kindness. But in a world where appearances define worth, she was invisible, until someone powerful reminded them who she truly was. The glass doors of Elysian Couture slid open with a soft whoosh. It was the most exclusive fashion boutique in the city, the kind of place where celebrities shopped, where luxury whispered from every corner, and where customer service came wrapped in velvet gloves for the right customers. A woman walked in quietly, almost unsure of herself. Her name was Elena. She wore a simple cotton dress, pastel blue, clean but modest. Her brown hair was tied into a neat bun. No flashy jewelry, no designer bag, no obvious signs of wealth. Just a calm elegance and a warm smile on her face. Elena glanced around the boutique. Mannequins dressed in silk gowns stood proudly under the golden lights. Handbags that cost more than a month's rent sat neatly on glass shelves. A soft melody played in the background, barely audible over the whispers of judgment. Two sales associates, Jessica and Mila, stood near the front counter, pretending to fix a display but clearly watching Elena. Jessica nudged Mila and whispered, "Another window shopper. Probably wandered in by mistake." Mila smirked. "She looks like she belongs in a thrift store, not here." Elena slowly approached a rack of dresses, her fingers brushing gently against the fabrics. She stopped at a champagne-colored evening gown and smiled, imagining how it might look on her. "Can I help you with something?" Jessica called out, her tone polite but strained, like someone being forced to speak to someone beneath them. Elena turned with a soft smile. "Yes, actually. I'm looking for a special gift. A dress. For someone very dear to me." Jessica raised an eyebrow and walked over. "These dresses are quite high-end. Starting at around $5,000. Elena blinked but said nothing. She simply nodded and continued browsing. Mila joined in. "Are you sure this is the right place for you? There's a nice outlet mall down the street." Elena looked at both of them, still calm. "This boutique was recommended to me. I'd like to try something on, please." Jessica sighed dramatically. "I'm sorry, ma'am, but our fitting rooms are reserved for serious clients. We can't allow." Before she could finish, Elena gently placed the dress back on the rack. "I see," she said softly. She didn't argue, didn't raise her voice. She simply turned and began walking toward the door. Jessica rolled her eyes. "People like her always think they're in some fairy tale." Mila laughed. "Next time, maybe wear a Gucci belt if you want us to take you seriously." As Elena stepped out into the bright sunlight, her eyes shimmered, not from anger, but from quiet disappointment. She pulled out her phone and sent a single message. "I'm heading back. I'll explain later." Back inside, the boutique returned to its usual rhythm. The staff laughed, chatted, and complimented each other on handling that awkward situation so gracefully. But less than an hour later, the glass doors slid open again. This time, it wasn't a soft whoosh. It was a presence. A sleek, jet-black Rolls-Royce SUV rolled to a stop outside. The driver quickly stepped out and opened the rear door. Out came a tall man in a tailored black suit, sunglasses hiding his sharp eyes, his very walk radiating authority. He was Alexander Thorne, billionaire entrepreneur, tech mogul, and the kind of man whose name was whispered with reverence in every boardroom. The boutique staff went silent. Jessica whispered, "Wait, is that him?" Mila gasped. "What's he doing here?" Alexander didn't stop to admire the displays. He walked straight in, his steps echoing like a judge entering court. His expression was unreadable, but his presence made everyone straighten up instantly. "Where is your manager?" he asked in a low, calm voice that sent chills down their spines. "I'll get her right away," Jessica stammered. As she scurried off, Alexander looked around, his gaze sharp. He spotted the champagne-colored dress, still hanging on the rack. He walked up to it, touched it gently, then turned to Mila. "Did a woman come in earlier asking to try this on?" Mila hesitated. Why yes, sir. She didn't seem, we didn't think she was a serious client." Alexander's jaw clenched slightly. He removed his sunglasses, revealing piercing gray eyes. That woman, he said slowly, is my wife. Mila's face turned white. Jessica returned with the manager, who looked panicked already. Alexander continued, his voice cold but controlled. She came here to surprise me with a gift. You judged her, insulted her, and sent her away. The manager tried to speak, but Alexander raised a hand. I don't want apologies. I want actions. Right now, I'm buying every dress in this store. Everyone gasped. But none of them will ever be sold to her, because I will never allow her to step foot in this place again. The boutique stood frozen. No one moved. No one breathed. Jessica and Mila looked like statues, pale, wide-eyed, and humiliated. The manager tried to recover. Mr. Thorne, please, this must be a misunderstanding. We value every customer. Alexander turned slowly to face her. You valued what you saw, not who she was. He glanced around the boutique, then spoke loud enough for the few remaining customers to hear. My wife walked in here with a heart full of kindness and respect. She asked for help. You looked at her dress, her shoes, her lack of a logo, and decided she wasn't worthy. His voice never rose. It didn't need to. The weight of his words was heavier than any shout. He looked at the champagne-colored dress again. This was the one she chose. She has better taste than all of you combined. Jessica's lips trembled. We didn't know, sir, we're so sorry. Alexander met her eyes. You shouldn't treat someone better because they're married to money. You should treat them well because they walked through your door with dignity. The staff hung their heads. At that moment, the boutique doors opened once more. Elena stepped in quietly, drawn by the crowd of onlookers outside and the familiar black SUV parked at the entrance. She paused when she saw Alexander. Then her eyes widened as she saw everyone staring at her. Elena, Alexander said, softening for the first time, I wanted you to see it for yourself. He walked over and gently took her hand. You came here with the purest heart. You didn't deserve what they did, so I made sure they'd remember it. Elena looked around, her calm gaze landing on Jessica and Mila. I forgive you, she said simply. But I hope next time you don't wait to see someone's wallet before you offer kindness. The room fell silent again, not from fear this time, but from shame. She turned back to her husband. Come on, love. Let's go. I found a better boutique just around the corner. Alexander smiled. You're the only thing in this world that makes sense. He offered her his arm, and together they walked out, not with noise or power, but with grace. As they stepped into the SUV and the door gently closed, the boutique behind them felt colder, emptier. No matter how expensive its dresses were, it had just lost its most valuable lesson. Kindness costs nothing, but is worth everything. Speech balloon. What would you have done if you were in Elena's place? Let us know in the comments. Thumbs up if you believe everyone deserves respect, no matter how they look. Give this video a like. Bell, subscribe for more powerful short stories that touch the heart.